Now, the conversation between Sopiopa and the wolf went something like this. Ma'am, I brought you this man cub. I thought maybe you'd want him. There's some things that I need. Do you want him, or can we eat him? Well, his pony would be nice. I'm not overly fond of the man cub himself. He's a little bit irritating and cuts into my profits at times, but I might trade for him too. What do you have in mind? We have wounded, and we need medicines and need you to stitch and pull arrows out and help. Yes, we need help. Well, bring your wounded here and I'll see what I can do for them. And I can leave a salt block here. And that'll draw in wapiti and grazers and, well, grazers would pick up the salt block and take it home with them. But antelope and stuff can lick from the salt lake, and then it's about a quarter-mile to the river. And that'll make easy hunting ground for your wounded while they're recovering. That's fair enough. I could trade the boy and his pony for help with our wounded. And it's a deal. It sure is. It's a pleasure doing business with you. The wolf stood up and casually walked out of Sopiopo's camp. A while later, he brought back an old wolf and a female and a cub. And all of them had arrows and had infections and were very sick. Sopiopo started, pulling arrows out and cleaning and medicating, and she had, grazer type antibiotic roots and stuff, and she set the salt block that she had down by the tree, and with the bargain met, the wolves left. So, in the morning, Sopiopo, mules, boy and pony, made their way towards Capital. I hope you know you cost me some medicine and a salt block, and that my services in escorting you to Capital are not free. What do you want from me? I brought some coins. I want your pony when you get to Capital. Okay. So, Barnum traded his pony to Sopiopo. And when they got to Capital, he was anxious to see the city and stuff like that, but he had an aunt and an uncle in Capital, and he went to their house first, and he gave them most of his pocket money, and just took a couple of coins, enough to buy lunch with him in case he got, robbed. It wouldn't be like all of his money gone. And that way, he had a place to stay overnight and stuff. He didn't have to sleep on the streets. But he went exploring and was about ready to cross the Dragon Wing Bridge when he bumped into a boy who'd just been robbed by the troll. And the boy is like, you better run fast across that bridge, or that troll, he's surprisingly quick. Keep your lunch money deep in your pocket. And they talked for a while, and crossing the Dragon Wing Bridge was like really sway and different, and the labyrinth was a deep and dark forest, and he'd been warned not to leave the path that went through the labyrinth, but just on the magical path where he wouldn't be harmed was just spooky and creepy. And so he explored the city. He saw the markets, and he saw the gardens, and he saw the castle from a distance, but enjoyed the crowds of Ascension celebrating boys, and the shopkeepers were incredibly generous at this point in time. they give the boys apples and, you know, bottles of flavored juices and small copper coins, and just are super generous little boys at this point in time. The next day, Barnum watched the parade, and he watched all the tinsel dons and the floats and the prince in all of his regalia being carried by draconians. And it was the first time he'd ever seen draconians. It was the first time he'd ever seen falcon riders. It was really quite an experience for him. And then the day after that, he was ready to go home. He just was, you know, he'd had enough of the city, and it was time. So Biopo had told him where to find him in the marketplace, and he went and found her and asked if he could ride home with her. She was heading that way, and actually she's making a special trip that way. She wouldn't have been back so soon, but you know, she thought she would help him, and it wasn't exactly unlucrative for her to go back that way. So she had wisely traded for his pony so that he would have an animal to ride back on, because his pony would have been stolen if she hadn't taken care of it. And he goes home,